Barely a week towards to the 2016 presidential elections in Nigeria, there's been heightened concern about INEC's readiness and its integrity to conduct a free, fair, credible elections. Your party came out with a release yesterday, stating the fact that they've uncovered plots by INEC and the presidency, APC, to manipulate the process.
Yeah.
What's your reaction?
There have been several reports and observations that people have said to me directly in different constituencies that I visit regularly. And there was even a report that came out where people documented, I think it might have been AIT that did it, showing people actually paying 10,000 naira to people to collect their cards and put it into some sort of machine. Now, I'm not sure what that is. I'm not sure if that's the card reader. I'm not sure if they're doing it to inflate the votes on that card reader. We've heard that only card readers will be used in the next election and there will be no incident forms. That's what the EO in the stakeholder summit said to us in Ikeja. But a lot of things are still up in the air. And 1 week to election, that is not a good sign. We are hoping that INEC does this properly. And it does it well, so that nobody is going to start contesting these elections. Nobody is going to start creating crisis out of this, because elections that are free and fair allow for the aftermath to be a very peaceful one. When people feel that they are rigged, especially in elections such as this that are so hotly contested, it will be very problematic. So I'm imploring INEC to look out for the betterment of the future of this country, not just this 2019 elections, the aftermath, and do things the right way, and also security agencies as well. Because if the former president went to these lengths, there would have been no handover to this present government. So let us have a free and fair election. Let the people be allowed to have a voice to speak on and give a referendum on what they feel that this government has done and been about.
The chairman of INEC, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, had reiterated the commission's commitment to conduct credible elections. In fact, he said, and I quote, that the 2019 elections will be credible. We will jealously guard the process. We will ensure that the process leads to the outcome that all Nigerians expect.
I pray so. I just wonder what his opinion is on the Ekiti poll, what his opinion is on the Osun poll. Like, I would like to hear his opinion. If he feels that is free and fair, then that's the metric that we'll use to judge what his understanding of free and fair is. But I know that they are making a lot of efforts. I mean, the new ballot paper that will be rolled in, the idea that they want to try and curb vote buying, these are things that he has said in theory, and come February 16th, we'll put it to the test and see the reality of these things that they're trying to create.
Former President Obasanjo also expressed doubts about the integrity and impartiality and competence of INEC. As a matter of fact, he said the unnecessary run, which was
extremely unnecessary,
in Osun State, I mean, calls to doubt INEC's ability to actually be fair. And he talked about the critical infrastructure incidences of deliberately contrived, broken and non-working voting machines, card readers, and inadequate supply of voting materials to designated places, and a host of other things, which eventually led to the election being declared inconclusive, and eventually they had to go for a rerun. So do we envisage this kind of...
There's a lot of funny business going on. I'm praying that, especially with the Osun situation, the judiciary will see to it that the voice of the people were actually heard, because like you said, there was no need for a rerun. That election was already decided. And understanding the dynamics where security agents will not be as easily deployed all over the country. But then some people will argue that they don't need to deploy security agents all over the country. You just need to deploy it in certain key places, Lagos, Kano, and some certain places. So I'm truly hoping that INEC and security agencies will see that, this thing is bigger than them and the immediate needs of this particular ruling elite and political class. And ultimately, I pray that, and I hope Because Goodluck Jonathan, no matter what criticism you want to give him, he set a trajectory for free and transparent elections with the introduction of the card reader. And we saw how the difference when we did local government elections, most recent one in Lagos, where there were no card readers. I know people that voted 20 times, right? I know people that voted 20 times. So that card reader introduction of it was done by somebody that put the nation first over himself. And I'm hoping that that spirit will continue. And I'm hoping that the people come out and defend their votes and vote, because there's a lot of voter apathy. But with the suffering that's going on with our economy, the employment market, the low that is in, the loss in the value of our currency, I hope people are angered enough to come out and actually judge this government and put better candidates in place to represent them, and also stay and make sure that their votes are counted.
Another issue that has raised heightened concerns and fear has to do with the guidelines of the election.
Yeah.
Unlike what we had in 2015, where we had an accreditation process for before voting was actually done. This time around, we're having simultaneous accreditation and voting at the same time. What's your reaction to this?
It's extremely problematic, because that then starts to create a system where you cannot really say, normally you could judge the credibility of an election by, okay, this many of people were accredited and this many people voted. Now it's continuous. So if somebody wants to rig, you can carry that ballot box and go somewhere else and continue accrediting and voting. Do you understand what I'm saying? And that's where the kick is. Now the problem is we do not trust these systems. That's why this has become an issue. Because when we see it, we're looking at it as this is an opportunity for them to rig. But that also allows for a seamless process where people can just accredit and vote. It makes things easier on the voter. But because there is such mistrust of the system, we see it that this is a big opportunity for them to rig. So ultimately, all in all, the people in a community know the people that live on that street and know the people that are registered to vote there. Now, if each ballot box, the community takes it seriously and says, you know what, this is our election. If any strange people come there, they should say, no, you are not here. And make sure that they stay and the votes are counted and that result is transmitted. Ultimately, whatever they want to do, the important thing is people come out to vote. You can only succeed with this kind of machinations when voter turnout is very poor. Like some ballot, in some polling units, 10 people come out to vote or 20 people come out to vote. In that kind of situation, anybody can do anything. And these are things that then become issues. So the people need to come out to vote, and that is of the optimum importance.
Finally, considering your chances, your party's chances in the next elections and these elections, how do you assess what are the chances?
I wish I could turn around and ask you that question, because it's really you we need to be hearing from. We are the politicians. I mean, when you look at the rallies, you see the excitement. People are excited. You can't deny it. People are excited. Whether you want to call them a borrowed crowd or a bot crowd or whatever, there is sheer excitement. It was the similar excitement that came with Buhari in 2015. The way people were just excited. That excitement is not the same with the APC. When Osinbajo made a statement about the righteous, where the righteous rule, the people rejoice. I'm not sure if people have seen this video. The people said, no, they are not rejoicing. So a lot of people are just, when you look at the videos of their rallies, they're just, and then maybe in the party rallies, a little bit of excitement. So a lot of excitement coming through with our party. Also, there's a lot of goodwill, because people feel that something is bad and then they get something worse. Then they understand that, life used to be better. You understand? When a government takes 6 months to constitute a cabinet, it's a very bad signal to the international community, which directly affects the foreign direct investment, which directly affects the economy, which directly affects the value of your currency, and directly affects the employment market. We need people that have policies, direction, and they are ready to go. You give them the job today, they are going. You need people that are ready, they are sound, not just, okay, we want to win for the sake of winning. And you've seen this with our policy statements. You've seen this with the amount of work. Before our presidential candidates emerged, I was chairman of his policy manifestos for education. I was chairman for that. But when he did that, there was a room, I was in a room of about 15 of the brightest young people, in my opinion, they are doing phenomenal things. They are not party affiliated, just brilliant young minds in this room. In the next room, there were professors that were also doing the same thing. And this was a 2-month process. And then after that, he now merged us and got us to come together and form a policy document. So, and as we're doing that, foreign consulting firms were also doing the same thing. So, in terms of pound for pound, ready to hit the ground running and make Nigeria great again or make Nigeria work again, I feel our candidate has what it takes. And he has shown it. He has shown it in his interviews. He has shown it in his reports. So we have a very, very good chance. Ultimately, the people are going to decide. And I pray that they come out en masse, because politics affects every part of your life. No matter how you want to insulate yourself from it, you want to buy a Jeep to ride on a pothole road, you want to send your children abroad to deal with your poor education, you want to go abroad for healthcare because of your poor healthcare system, you want to buy a generator and inverter to sleep because NEPA is not providing light. It is all madness. We have normalized madness. We are going to sleep and hearing boo, 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 and we think we are normal. We are not normal people anymore. The fact that I can sleep with all that noise does not mean you have internalized madness. And that's why everybody is so angry in Lagos. When people are driving, they also want to march and jam everybody on the road because we are dealing with so much. So we need to try to take out that frustration on election day. The more we change and remove leaders and put new people in, politicians now start to awaken to their responsibility. They know the people have the final say. And ultimately, they will start behaving properly to affect the people positively.
Distinguished, okay? Appreciate your insightful analysis.
Thank you.